you see a lot of collar tying, and if you spend a lot of time here, and Andrew's got very, very heavy hands, it gets very tiring. So likelihood that I'm going to be able to attack successfully from the standing position goes down the longer we stay there. Today we're going to take a look at a very important subject dealing with standing position. My good friend Gordon Ryan has a video out now on scrimmage wrestling, and so I haven't seen it, but we have trained together before, and so I'm sure that probably some of this material is covered in there, but we're going to give you kind of a quick understanding of the Russian tie and dealing with the Russian tie and the elbow pass, because especially if you haven't done wrestling before, you might not understand the difference between the two of them. Yeah. So, sorry, before I get started, I see that you're looking at my new belt. I promoted myself. I know it's a little bit against how things are normally done in martial arts, but I thought it very important that people know to be very careful with me, and that I might break. Okay, so now let's get into it. I'm gonna take my new belt off. I think I might be the only yellow and black belt in the world until I promote my successor. All right, Russian tie. Okay, so really what we're going to talk about is dealing with a collar tie. So there are a lot of ways of dealing with a collar tie. I'm not a wrestling expert. I can just share with you what I've found to be best practices and what's been taught to me. But when your partner takes a collar tie, this is a very important form of connection for them, right? It allows him to do a couple of things. One, if I want to shoot, there's a frame here. So every time I lower, there's this kind of frame that gets in the way, makes it more difficult for me to reach his legs, okay? The next thing is if I try to move across his body, this frame does the same thing. Like if I try to reach across to the other side, he's able to maintain distance. Not only that, but he can put a lot of pressure. Okay, so your partner will pull you down here, and over time it gets pretty exhausting to have to deal with this this pressure, and that's why you see even at very high levels, because in jiu-jitsu we tend not to play in these like more bent over stances the way that you see wrestling style do, and people tend not to be too upright the way they are in judo. There's kind of a middle stance. You see a lot of collar tying, and if you spend a lot of time here, and Andrew's got very, very heavy hands, it gets very tiring. So likelihood that I'm going to be able to attack successfully from the standing position goes down the longer we stay there. There are a few ways of dealing with the collar tie. Here are two, and the reason that we're going through these is because it's easy to mistake how you deal with them in terms of your posture and the technical answer. One of them is an elbow pass. So an elbow pass involves us taking our outside arm here to our partner's tricep or elbow area, and then really we're creating pressure, okay? We're pushing in a bit, we're keeping our elbows in, your elbows are not wide, and then basically what we're doing is bowing our head slightly forward so that that elbow passes over our head and that puts us behind our partner's tricep and elbow. And this is a great place to be because it allows you to shoot and close a distance. Okay, so the elbow pass involves you gripping and then really bowing your head here. And you see this happening at high level in wrestling and in people who know what they're doing in jiu-jitsu, that there's this kind of game of like clearing it by bowing your head down, okay? When it works great. They put you on the outside of your partner's arm, as we said, but the problem is that unless you're really good from out here, you don't have a lot of connection. So you can shoot from here, but it requires some skill in shooting. It requires you to feel pretty confident in your shot. It requires you to be okay getting stuffed underneath and working from underneath your partner, okay? Plus, you only have this one point of contact, so while you can stay to the outside, he can also circle in this direction, and now you're in this kind of race a little bit. Contrast that with peeling your partner's collar tie into what's called a Russian tie or a 2-on-1, right? In this, we take our hand, the inside hand, and we hold our partner's forearm or their wrist, and we shrug our shoulder, okay, to take this hand up, and then we peel using our shoulder and our chest to take our partner's arm in front. This also, as you can see, puts us behind our partner's tricep. But it does so we're in a way where we've got much more connection. So our connection is much better to our partner. We've got his arm pinned to our chest. Now from here, we can just put our head to the inside, and you can start to look to attack. You can move more easily around your partner's back, okay? You can duck underneath for high crotches and back exposure. So when you peel your partner's collar tie off to a Russian, you're not bringing your head down. Because actually when you bring your head down, you're compromising your posture and you're actually making it easier for your partner to take advantage of this position. Okay, instead we tend to keep our head up and shrug and peel, and this is the thing that makes the difference. This is the thing that takes a collar tie off. Then you can bring your head in and start to run around the back, okay? So there are two techniques: the elbow pass, where we bow and clear, and then the Russian tie, where we stay upright and peel. They both put us on the outside of our partner's arms. This is a great place to be. It's a great place to attack. But just know, in one, you are bringing your head down because it's a shorter motion with less connection. The other, you're keeping your head upright and peeling for better connection so that you can go and work with your partner in a way that allows you to stay glued to them a little bit better, okay? So, again, this is not a wrestling tutorial. It's more to give you a sense of what to do, especially jiu-jitsu people standing up. Hopefully this is helpful for you. There are some links down below to stuff we've been up to. If you have questions, of course, put them down there. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.